I I think we're streaming now. I think we're good. We're gonna talk about the bucket situation. Let me just make sure I'm actually streaming. I'm doing a stream because I'm too lazy to record and edit right now, and I'm probably just gonna like grab the stream and then like maybe if it does well, I'll edit it and like just polish it as a video. But I just want to have this up here because I want to give like my very honest opinion. I don't have a script with me right now. This is just all I've got in this sort of like past 5 years, pretty much, almost 6 years. I've been in the community. In case you don't know me, I've been here for 5 years. I was the first person to join the Discord server for Undertale Dungeons. I've been in the community even before Undertale Dungeons, back when it was just the Ultimate Monster Mania, and I've known Bucket well enough to sort of like know some of these issues had been a thing for long enough. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm very obviously talking about the new video that came out, made by Lune. I don't know how it's pronounced, where it shines a light in a few issues, a few, I guess, problematic behaviors Bucket had, and even points out some very disgusting stuff that I will be talking about here. And the reason I'm talking about them is because I believe I have very valuable information. I believe my position, my opinion, is very valuable, and well, I just want to talk about something really, and I want to keep my channel going with the content. I'm working on a video as well. I'll have it up soon. Anyways, I'm gonna play a few new Vegas in the background, and hopefully it doesn't crash while I talk. Whew. Very well then. So first of all, I wanna shine a light on like the main issue that I noticed. I don't know if to call it main issue, but probably like the most severe one that is discussed at the end of the video. It's the whole pedophilic allegations and all those weird comments he made about Noel, which is an adulterant character, which is underage. If you don't know, Bucket is in college. He's an adult already, and he shouldn't be making inappropriate comments about minors. Now, you could argue it's a joke, and it is very likely just a joke. But the issue is that he keeps repeating the joke. He's doing it in front of minors, and it's a very graphic joke with very graphic commentary from him toward the character. Very disgusting things as well that he has said about the character, and I just don't think it's a really good idea, and not a good thing in general, to be making those comments in front of a community full of minors, minors that look up to you because you're the owner of the community, right? You're the owner of the Backrooms VR. You're the owner of the Undertale Dungeons 1, 2, remastered, whatever. You have a lot of games. A lot of people look up to you, but a lot of people are also minors. You know, you're doing these disgusting comments, so it's not appropriate at all. And I believe something that should be addressed. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I actually sent him a DM recently, and he said he was not gonna watch the video that was made about him, which I think is a just god awful idea. I think it's very disgusting of his part. Look, I fuck with Bucket. I think he's a good friend, at least to me. At least from my experience, he's good with me. But I cannot just let any of this slide. Like, just because he treats me well, I'm not gonna sit here and allow him to treat others like shit. I don't agree with any of that. So that's the reason why I'm making this video, and I want to get the pedophilic point out of the way, because there's a whole video talking about that in very detail that I can't, because in all my experience in 5 years, he hasn't really made these kind of comments because he was a minor, for most of this time lapse. So it's not really that severe. But now he's an adult, and he cannot do this shit no more. Not like it was okay before, but it's way more severe now. And yeah, he did it, and that's a big issue. And I think it's something he should 100% just address and not just try to avoid and pretend like it didn't fucking happen, because it did happen, and it happened in public. Oh shit. So yeah, I get with that out of the way. I want to talk about something that I do know very well that has been happening since day one, pretty much. The moderator, I guess, negligence. I think it's common sense now. I think most of the communities are aware right now, especially those who have worked as moderators, that Bucket loves, or maybe doesn't love, but keeps neglecting his moderators and his staff team. Like whenever they have an issue that they cannot solve because of permissions or whatever, he just ignores it. And I think that's like why. It just takes you 1 minute to solve, for example, like a 6 hour slow mode that was placed in chat or something like that, or in-game permissions. It doesn't take you that long, and he's completely online, he's completely on Discord, he's interacting with the community, but he just completely ignores the messages the staff team sends him regarding something very important that is more important than talking about minors. So it's kind of fucked up that it's been 5 years since this issue started with the staff negligence, and it's still happening. According to most of the staff members that have quit, because 5 of them have quit in the span of a week, which is insane, they all say that Bucky just doesn't give a shit. And it is true, he doesn't give a shit. And I'm one of the few lucky people that actually get him to answer the DMs. But I cannot ignore that back in my day when I was a staff member, he used to ignore most of my issues with the server when I was a staff member, issues I couldn't solve, and he still does that nowadays. Even generations after me and before the current one, they've mentioned this issue, and this issue is also very visible in how the staff team operates. For example, let's take in mind Crates. He's been a staff member for 4 years. He came a little after me, like a year or so, maybe a little more. Like I don't remember him being there for 4 years, but he could have been staff member for 4 years. I don't know. But yeah, he did come after me, and you think he's very experienced. You think he knows what he's doing. He doesn't fucking know what he's doing. And I want to comment on that because what do you mean? Your senior staff, pretty much your second in command, who's supposed to teach the other staff members, who's supposed to be learning from you, he hasn't learned anything. He literally banned me for no fucking reason the other day for something that was solved by another staff member a month ago, and he banned me for no fucking reason. I thought that was disgusting. Another thing, he he also, it's not the first time this shit happened. He has given improper punishments before. He still believes that hiring people just because you like them is a good idea, like hiring people as staff members, which is not a good idea, obviously. But he thinks it is a good idea. Um, okay, let me do this mission real quick. But yeah, he has like many, I guess, old beliefs that he learned from when he joined the server, from when the staff team was at its worst, when they were literally hiring people for no reason, with no previous experience, people who didn't ask for staff, or people who asked for staff but they only asked it because they like having power. Pretty much people who are not fit for the role, and he just gave it to them. And obviously, people back then, the staff members back then, did that. So he still has that belief that has never worked out. I mean, there are 5 years of evidence on how you cannot trust people you like just because you like them. And yeah, I think that's something I want to mention because this pretty much apply. I mean, this is an issue that comes directly from Bucket. He neglected his staff team so much, none of them learned. The first generation, which was my generation and other people, we had to deal with this issue, but we were kind of experienced, I'd like to say, but we still had a lot of issues. And those issues, well, were never solved when we left. Those issues remained, such as staff bias and improper punishments and inactive staff. Those issues remain, and even after the second generation, which kept those issues, they got new issues, such as a lot of controversies, like generating a lot of controversy inside the community. Those passed down to the next staff team, and so on and so forth. And this is because Bucket never did anything, like never really developed a proper staff guide, or never really showed up to fix any issues. So yeah, there was oh fuck, there's a landmine. But yeah, there was a lot of, I guess, issues that were never addressed by Pocket, which to this day are still present. I want to point out that the current staff team, the ones that are the most vocal, like, for example, I don't want to say names, but some of the ones that quit. they have like a very strong opinion against Bucket. Sort of like if you see the Lunea's video, aka Penguin, you can see in the comments that they're there and they're sharing their opinions. Some of them are even saying that, oh, I was a previous staff in the server and this happened. I think they're very entitled to their opinion, but at the same time, I want to point out that they also suffered many of these issues that have been carrying on since the past 5 years, such as bias, such as not doing their job right, like giving improper punishments and all that. And as I mentioned, it is partially Bucket's fault because he has neglected his staff team. But come on, like it's also their fault as well. And what pisses me off is that, and I'm gonna kind of sidetrack here a little and shit a little on the most recent staff team. You could have talked this out, like you could have been public about it. But from what I understand, all your criticism was private. All your opinions about Bucket were private, and like what the fuck, mate? Like just talk about them, man. Like you're already gone. He's not gonna do anything for you. I don't know why you're keeping it a secret, especially when there are pedophile allegations that you're very aware of. I don't know why the hell you're being private about that. But yeah, it's something that pissed me off, like how they're all like, "Oh yeah, he's finally getting exposed," when you could have easily helped out on exposing him, but you didn't. Like it pisses me off. But again, they also work as evidence of like how Bucket has like neglected his staff team. They are so inexperienced and so shitty at their work that pretty much. I'm sorry, I'm reading the Discord right now. I'm reading what Bucket is saying. But yeah, they are so shit at their job that you can tell most of these mistakes that they commit, they have been around for so long, and I can tell you that because I've been there, I've witnessed that. So yeah, it's safe to say Bucket is not doing his job as a owner, as I guess the role model, the person that's supposed to teach these staff members. So I'm kind of like, I guess, rambling with no point on this and kind of repeating myself. But that's what happens when you play games and you talk. But yeah, and just to keep that or to finish that topic, the staff team that shouldn't be an issue to begin with is an issue because Bucket for 5 whole fucking years has neglected those son of bitches. So if you ever worked for Bucket, you probably received shit from me. I've been very public about my opinions on the staff team and how much I hate them. But I also wish to tell you that if you were like a recent staff member, you had it the hardest. I just wish you the absolute best. And yeah, that's it. Because like, come on, you worked on a system that has been getting worse constantly, and technically you work on the worst it's been right now. And yeah, even though you committed a lot of mistakes as a staff member, it's undeniable that most of those mistakes are because of a guy that keeps neglecting you. Give me a second. Let me pick a mission real quick. Okay, here is the bunker. So yeah, I think I'm sorry for the pause. I think even though the staff team is not full of saints, like some of them are really horrible. Like some of them are bad people, okay? But again, the reason why they were staffed is because of these issues, such as like just hiring people because you like them, and Bucket not really checking on his community and his staff team. So again, all the issues you can find on the staff team, they go back to Bucket one way or another. Let me just save all my equipment here. So I want to go naked in this mission. So yeah, it pisses me off. It low-key pisses me off. Anyways, another issue I want to talk about, which was like a very huge point in the video, is how Bucket is an asshole in his community. And that is true. It's very true. He's a fucking asshole in his community. He treats his members like shit. He has treated his staff team like shit as well. He just doesn't fucking care. It's been an issue these past 5 years. I can assure you. Ever since I worked there, we have this issue. It was worse before. I mean, we used to ban furries and gay people just for being there, especially furries. Like being gay was an insult back in the community, and furries, there was a rule against furries, which I think is just very petty and absurd in general. And And I mean, it hasn't been the case recently. Obviously, there's a lot of furries in the community, and I think that's great. But we can't deny that Bucket is still an asshole to his community. And what I mean with being an asshole is how, I guess, if anyone sort of like has a question to him or is just trying to be normal towards him, like trying to talk or anything, he just completely gives them a slap in the face and pretty much pushes them away. It's even more common with someone those like criticism towards his persona, like valid criticism, like "Hey man, you're fucked up for doing this. Can you like change because like this is fucked up. You're hurting people." Like he was actually confronted by Lunea, the person who made the video, about being an asshole, and he just gave him, "I am reading all that. I'm not paying you attention," and then slapped them with a 1 week timeout, which I think is a very asshole move. And again, just all that time where he grabbed a bunch of DMs he received that he thought were funny and just leaked those DMs in the server for everyone to laugh at. I also thought that was an asshole move from his part. Another thing, this moderator, ex-moderator, Fallen, regardless of what they did, which I'm not very familiar with, Bucket quite literally invited them to the server just so everyone could make fun of them. And I'm not innocent; I did make fun of them, but I think it's worse that you're pretty much inviting them, you're giving them these fake expectations, and then you get your whole community to pretty much clown on this person who I don't think they deserve that. I know some of the stuff they did, but I don't think they deserve this sort of like public shaming. And that's just many of the things he has done. Okay, so like yeah, and this is like a very common occurrence. It's not a one pony trick. It has happened many times. Not the first time he has gone in his whole community to clown on someone. It's not the first time he has made fun of DMs he has received before publicly, and it's obviously not the first time he has pretty much, I guess, sort of gave people unjust punishments or made fun of them or insulted them for calling him out for his bullshit. So again, this has been an issue for so long, and it's insane. And I'm glad the video touches on that. Uh, so yeah. Anyways, so another issue. Now that we touch on what I consider like the main issues, is just how, and this is really nitpicking here, but I want to comment on it. It's just these false promises in general. Uh, so like, if you're gonna say that you're gonna release the update in a specific day, you gotta do it, bro. Like it's been 5 years. Again, 5 years of you saying, "Oh, I'm gonna release this day," and then you release it way later. Like you do not keep your promises, and yeah, it's just like a very minor issue. But I'm gonna comment on it because it just shows that you haven't improved, even in a minor aspect like this, for 5 goddamn years, bro. It's not that hard. Like if you struggle with your deadlines, just say, okay, I'm gonna release it around this time and play like a very long deadline, so you have enough time to work and do whatever. But yeah, it's that. And another issue, which is very recent. This one's very recent. Is how he just doesn't give a fuck about any of these allegations. I'm reading the Discord right now. I'm looking at it right now, and Royce doesn't give a shit. Give me a second though. Sorry, I had to do something real quick. But yeah, I think it's funny how like people very rightfully called you out for being an asshole, for being a pedophile even, and your response is basically, "I'm not gonna watch that. I'm good. I'm not gonna address all that." Like what the fuck, mate? Or like, okay, we get it. You might think it's like pointless. You might think I don't even know what you might think. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't see a logical reason as to why you wouldn't address any of this, other than just being a lazy son of a bitch. I'm saying that with all the respect I have for you, because believe it or not, I actually respect Bucket a little bit, but because I do believe he has made some very fair points in the past about certain topics. But this, I cannot defend this. Like, come on, bro, go out and defend yourself. Like they're literally calling you out as a pedophile right now. They're calling you out for an asshole, which you have been for 5 years, and a neglective son of a bitch. And all you have to say is that you don't care. I mean, it says a lot about you as a person, really, and a lot about you as your quality as a person, which is overall disgusting. And yeah, I just think I don't see a reason why the hell you wouldn't address this. I don't see a reason why the hell you wouldn't defend your own image. But it is what it is, I guess. I mean, I cannot force him to defend his own image. And as Linnea said, um, you're pretty much. I mean, the video doesn't. It's not really trying to make him watch the video. I mean, the video has like 2 points. One is to make him change, and the other one is to let the community know what the fuck is happening. If he doesn't change, the community will be aware of how much of an asshole he is. If he does change, that's good. Sorry, I had to organize my thoughts for a bit because I was confused as to why the fuck I was receiving damage in the game out of nowhere. But yeah, like even if you don't address it, the information is out there. So I do believe, even though I cannot force you to address, whatever the video says and all the allegations you have, I know damn well the community will be aware, and this will have a big impact on your persona, and people will bring it up, and some people will turn against you. I know you give a shit about what people think about you, but trust me, it will have a big impact. You might think it won't, but it will. I mean, I personally, I really am. I have reached the point where I have considered just leaving the community overall and just cutting contact with him, just because of all this shitty stuff. I mean, I personally have cut contact. Well, not cut contact, but I have left the studio because of how shitty the owner is there, because of how neglective he is with his community. And Bucket is quite literally the same, neglective as fuck. And sometimes he tries to take like the moral higher ground, and sometimes he is right with all that, like pointing out some valid things when someone does something wrong. But and I'm gonna hate this, but like I hate the term morally superior, but like pretending that you're morally superior doesn't make you morally superior. And in fact, there is no such thing as morally superior people. But I think when you're such a shitty person, you shouldn't be talking about what's right and what's wrong. And I know Bucket has done that many, many, many times. But it's kind of hard to take those things to consideration when he's like one of the shittiest people in the Undertale Dungeons community, and that is crazy. Because when the owner is one of the shittiest people in that community, you know the community is fucked up, and it is indeed a fucked up community. So yeah, I want to point that out. Like the Undertale Dungeons slash Backrooms VR, especially the Undertale Dungeons community, is known for being a shitty community, and you could argue they partially take that from the owner himself, and I think that's just crazy. There are many, many other things I could talk about him, but like most of those things haven't happened recently. Like I don't doubt they could happen, but they haven't happened recently. But there is something I want to talk about because I think it's really interesting. Is the whole King Hot Dog situation. We know who King Hot Dog is. I think he's like a famous, I guess, content creator in Undertale Dungeons. He has made a few games as well, fan game for Undertale Dungeons, and he has worked with Bucket. So if you don't know, Bucket, I mean King Hot Dog actually bought Undertale Dungeons from Bucket. He bought the files, which is crazy considering the files were out there for free. But he bought them. He was nice enough to give him money. And I'm not trying to defend King Hot Dog because he's very questionable. Okay, he's like a very very questionable person. But this isn't about him. And even if he's questionable or not, I think it's very fucked up because Bucket really did this with no reason. He was given the reasons later on, but when he did this, he had no good reason. And what he did is basically he rated the fan game that he was working with for King Hot Dog. Like King Hot Dog was paying him actively, and he even paid him for the game. And what Bucket did is that he rated the game 18 plus, and that's a rating you cannot change anymore. And the logs are there, the evidence is there that he did all that. And in case you don't know, having an 18 plus rating is awful because in a community full of minors, people who probably don't give their ID to Roblox because they don't even have like the ID and the age requirements to access those 80 plus games. When you rate a game 80 plus, only people who have verified their age can enter those games. And a community full of minors, they cannot really verify their age to be 18 plus when they're fucking minors. So he pretty much just lost all of his player base out of something Bucket did for really no good reason. Reasons that he was given later on when we pointed out how odd King Hot Dog is as a person. So yeah, there is no justifying what he did. I'm just overall disgusted because like you're pretty much taking money from someone and then you're pretty much screwing them over. I get it, and this is not the first time he has screwed over other families before. And I'm not trying to defend the people who work in those families because some of them have done shitty stuff. But like, come on, bro, they're not as shitty as you. I won't lie. I mean, some of them are, but not all of them. And even if they're shitty or not, you're only doing them because they're like your competence. They're not really, or you're not really doing it because you want to be a hero or you want to protect people from awful people. No, you're only doing it because you're petty and you cannot, I guess, cope with the fact that there's people out there who might be making a game similar to you. But that's also kind of just a theory, though. Or maybe he doesn't need to cope and he just enjoys torturing people. Ooh. But yeah, that's just my opinion overall. I wish I could. Oh fuck! I wish I could develop it more, but again, I think the video makes a better point. I just want to come out publicly and talk about this and sort of like reinforce the things Penguin slash Lunea said because I think it's very important. I think the best thing to consider here is that there are no good sides in the story. But there is something we can agree with, and it's that Buck is the worst side of them all. Um, I'm very sorry. I just don't know what to say. Like again, I fuck with him and I enjoy spending time with him, playing games with him. But I just cannot neglect the fact that all of this is happening. I cannot be biased. So I am coming out and saying all this because I love actually being public about what I believe, unlike some other people. And it's some kind of fucked up saying that, but it is the truth. And I believe other people should also, if you have like a bad experience with Bucket, regardless of how minor it is, you should be public about it. Because if you're not, you're gonna keep getting away with this. We shouldn't be letting this whole topic die. And that's just all I believe. I'm gonna end the stream here. I have other stuff to do. I want to keep it short, really. Again, if you have any questions, because trust me, I've been in this community for long enough to know all the shit he's done and all the shit that has been happening around him, not only about him, but about others. If you have any question about anyone in the community, I might be able to answer it. I don't know everyone, but I know a lot of people. And if you have any question about a specific time period or thing that may have happened, I may have some information about it. And I'm usually better sharing my opinion and information when I'm asked than when I'm not, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I wish everyone a happy new year. I'm kind of late on that, and just stay safe and please, if you can, just share publicly any experience that may have happened that involved Bucket. If we really want to make a change, we shouldn't be tolerating this kind of bullshit. Let me just